You here? Yeah, yeah, I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoom, Consul, Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Canoom. Yeah, yeah, I'm here. While I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah, yeah, now. Welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of My Thoughts, and this is my reaction to Fleece Johnson's reaction to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, he did this before. He jumped out the window, I believe, when Gayle King and Oprah had some disparaging things to say about Kobe Bryant. Um, in the light of his death, when he died, I believe they said he was a rapist, and things like that. And he jumped out the window. Snoop Dogg called them dog head bitches and this and that on his platform because he has a big platform on TikTok and anywhere. Snoop Dogg is a big platform himself. Um, So in 2017, he's this come up again. This is Snoop Dogg though. He's a turncoat. This is who he is. He don't have any integrity. He's a product. So when you pay for the product of Snoop Dogg, this is what you get. You're not entering a business or entering a handshake and a agreement with a man that has any integrity. When you sell a product, I can sell that product regardless to what I've said in the past. I can backpedal, I can recant statements, and nobody's going to hold me up on that because the product of Snoop Dogg is to continue to be a good product of Snoop Dogg. Okay. Now he lost the distinguish the dis the ability to be able to distinguish between the two. Calvin himself, Calvin Broadus, and Snoop Dogg long ago. So in 2017, he said anybody who get up there and go dance for Donald Trump and this and that, oh, cuz ain't this and that. You know how you speak. If anybody get up there and do this for that nigga and this and that, man, he can't come back to the community. Cuz I don't care what these are the statements. You guys seen the video, I'm sure, who's ever going to watch this. I heard about it. So in 2017, he made some statements that anybody who messed with Donald Trump or go perform at his inauguration I guess a Uncle Tom, whatever he was saying, like it ain't all good for him. Turn to 2025, he does just that. Now, Snoop Dogg made them statements, then turn around and perform at this man inauguration. So I was watching in Godfrey We Trust and things like that, and they said it's whisperings in the background that he did this for a gentleman named what's the founder name of Harry O. Okay, a gentleman named Harry O. He did this for Big Harry O, the founder of Death Row. Okay, for some loyalty, give him a pardon. I'll do that for you. But that don't sound right. If Snoop Dogg did that, it's because he knew that Harry O would let him do what he's doing. I guess they were 50-50 partner after they take this business. It's been taken from Suge Knight, the original founder of Death Row, that we only knew. We've always heard Harry O's name. Well, I have. I'm from the West Coast. So if he did that again, it was for the business of Snoop Dogg. He don't have no loyalty to nobody. He didn't do nothing for Suge Knight after Suge Knight got him off that murder was the case trial. You see, spent $5.5 million defending him to get him off that murder beef, and he won. And he was praying all in the courtroom and this and that, and he won that. He didn't do anything for Suge Knight, even in the business aspect. He didn't do anything for Suge Knight to repay him. So this couldn't have been for no loyalty. Hey, let Harry O out and I perform. If he did that, he's seen dollar signs because he's in the business of Snoop Dogg. So I said a whole lot. I'm going to show you Fleece Johnson, the quote unquote. They named him the Booty Warrior because he was on Boondocks. They did some spoof comedy of him. He was on MSNBC Lockup, and they took his character and people ran with it and said he raped 1,000 men in jail, which was false. And you can go watch Big Lee and Hustler Spirit. I'm gonna use a little bit of their video, and him and Fleece Johnson, they put all that to rest and let you know why they did this to him and continuous videos. So I'm going to just show you how a person that's supposed to be an outcast, um, uh, a throwaway, he did 40 plus years in prison, had this jacket on his back that he rapes men. Listen to how he speaks about Snoop Dogg, the most decorated, glorified gangbanger. They sell gangbanging to the kids, to our babies in the African community and all over the world who look at Snoop Dogg. They say, "Cuz, Crip," and they throw up them gang signs. Snoop Dogg is the emblem of gangbanging when it comes to hip hop. There's never been a bigger gangbanger going across the world putting on for nonsense gangbanging. Okay, and I'm not disrespecting gangbanging, but they would never prop a gang member in front of the community. See, they allow Snoop Dogg to do it so he can stay in the business of Snoop Dogg, and it corrupts our children, in my opinion. So let's look at Fleece Johnson, and let's see how he speaks about Snoop Dogg, one of the most notable men in hip hop. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. This is a fair use act. I don't own the video. This is Big Lee and Hustler Spirit and Fleece Johnson. This is their content. Go subscribe to their channel.
To say a lot of stuff about Donald Trump, follow the masses, talk bad about him, and then call out anybody that if he do win, if anybody dance at his inauguration,
I perform,
they'll jiggle or something foul. And then when the man do win.
So right there, he was saying, he's speaking about Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg said in 2017, anybody that performed at his inauguration was a coon, a jigaboo. Now he's saying, when Donald Trump did win, let's look at what Snoop Dogg, um, let's see what he did in the aftermath. Because see, when you say these words at Snoop Dogg with the big following that he has, people take his word to mean something. But they should have stopped doing that once he had to recant his statements, because when he jumped out there on Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey, he had to recant. He went on there and apologized because the doors would have started closing. But he needs the doors to stay open for the Snoop Dogg business. He was on there with the European lady who went to prison, Martha Stewart. So when you start talking about Gayle King and Oprah, it'll close them doors. So he had to recant his statements, go back on his word, and say he didn't mean none of that stuff, so he can keep the Snoop Dogg business going. That's all he's about. He don't have no integrity. Let's listen.
I switch up and go perform for him. Look, that's a cutthroat. That shows the real character of a person, man. That shows your real values, your real principles, who you really are on the inside. He's one of them type of, man, I always say he was the type, like they had his type back in slavery. I could run, get away. And that white man could come up to one of them blacks like him, go get him. He'll run all day and night until he catch up to me. He'll refuse water, everything. Run up on me, talking about I'm gonna take you back. He'll tell on me. See, there's no way you can get around that. And he's now coming off with, he did it out of love or something. We ain't got enough love in us. Look, man, we stand by one thing, man, that good don't vote for evil. That's one of the main principles. People stand by it. Good don't side with evil.
Okay, that was Big Lee and the Hustler Spirit Network and Fleece Johnson. And what I can say, I respect Fleece Johnson. He went in jail and did whatever he had to do. He came out, he owned it. That's what he had to do in prison. And when you own something, people can decide whether they can forgive you or not. This man did all this in 2017, then get on here and put himself before the world in 2025 with no explanation. He showed a video of himself, I guess, in the response, playing BB and CC Winans. It'll be over in the morning, sitting there smoking. I ain't going nowhere, cuz. I'm right here, cuz. I ain't going nowhere. That's what's wrong. We ain't got enough love, cuz, in the community. I want to hear that shit. This man who did 40 years in prison, and excuse me for the language, but whoever don't want to watch this, don't watch this, because this is a complete 180 from normally what I do. I talk about religion. This silly ass man, Snoop Dogg, and I'm talking about Snoop Dogg, not Calvin. Calvin Brodus is a great man who had his family and he had to turn into a character to get his money. I love the man. I love the brother. Snoop Dogg, on the other hand, Fleece Johnson relegated his personality traits and characteristics to a slave, one of a slave. This man got out of jail from doing 40 years. He still speaks with humility, humanity, respect, morals, and integrity. These are all the things that still embodies this man. And in my opinion, I respect him way more than I've ever respected Snoop Dogg. That's just a fact. Snoop Dogg, the product, is no good for nobody. He's just looking to make his product and continue to sell his product. Oh, he do stuff for the kids. Them kids pay to play in the Snoop League. The whole league is not just sponsored and free. Now he do a lot of stuff and giving them shoes and things of that, but people give him shoes, he give them to the kids. But every child in that Snoop League pays, except for the ones he wants to sponsor. This is facts. I'm from South Central Los Angeles. I know what I'm talking about. I've been around since 1980. I remember when it wasn't no Snoop Dogg. His biggest album is in 1992, Doggy Style. So he wasn't never that substantial in South Central until he hit with his music. This is facts. But he's in a company of Snoop Dogg. Is he wrong? Yes, because he makes a lot of statements as Snoop Dogg. Then he recants shoe shine, backpedal, shuck and dance, and be a coon and jigaboo that he said anybody who performed in 2017, he becomes that in 2025 with no explanation. He get on here and want to continue to just enter and dwell in the Snoop Dogg business like he have nothing can come from it. You don't owe him nothing. The people that made him millionaires don't owe him nothing. I mean, he don't owe them anything, no explanation or nothing. He can just go say, "Hey, don't vote for Donald Trump. He a coon, this and that, whoever." Then he come and do this. So for me, it's no dollar amount that should have put him on that stage if that's how he felt. This man does not have more integrity than Fleece Johnson, a man who did 40 years in prison. He don't have probably a thousandth of Snoop Dogg's estimated net worth in his bank account. 1,000 percentage. And I'm not saying nothing to knock Fleece down, but Snoop Dogg is worth hundreds of millions. You see, but he has more integrity. He has a rich spirit. He's rich at heart. And he stood on what he said. And everybody in prison has the same demeanor and personality. And this is what people in prison, who's especially long timers, they stand on this. When you give your word, you got to live by it and die by it. Not only doesn't Snoop Dogg do this, he does the complete opposite to no avail. And then they prop him up to our kids like a great gang banging crip because he made money with this personality. It's the best thing to put in front of our kids. He on the T-Mobile commercial, him and Kai Cenat, and he talking about what they took it off now. It's another one running currently, but he had it with Patrick Mahomes. He said, "Cuz holding it up like a baby lion, cuz." Why is gang banging being projected to our children so they can follow this coon and jigaboo? According to Fleece, they would go get a person like Snoop Dogg, the personality and the product Snoop Dogg, from what he's shown us in slavery days, and say, "Hey, one of our good slaves ran away. Go get him." Snoop Dogg will run all night. He will refuse water, food, and everything else to go bring back another slave. And if he couldn't bring them back, he said, "I'm gonna tell on you." That's a damn shame that this man can sit here after doing 40 plus years in prison and have more value to me and anybody else who keeps it a buck than Snoop Dogg, the most prized possession of the African community because of currency. And nobody never makes him stand on nothing. Yeah, people were mad and outraged, but he's still gonna be accepted. He should be outcast because what he say is what people wants to get. Okay, that's my thoughts on the video. Shout out to Fleece Johnson, Big Lee and Hustler Spirit. Shout out to Calvin Brodus, the real man, other than the product. Snoop Dogg, we love him. He came from nothing. He made his family uh, millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, and I salute him on that. But this Snoop Dogg character keep flip flopping. Now he's been relegated to the point of a slave catcher by a man who did 40 years in prison and still have so much humanity left in him. That's the way you see him. That's the way I see him. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. And remember, education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. Um, I got lost for words. Um, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Snoop Dogg and got me lost for words, man. This is sad. Yeah, yeah.